Hello everyone, this is Super Spiky Shell. You may not know me as of this video's time being, but I have a huge passion for Nintendo games, and that includes Mario as well. I grew up with several games and franchises, and spent hours every day of my free time playing games. And one day I decided to put all that to good use. If I'm gonna play video games every day and replay a bunch of my favorites, I might as well make videos about it, such as sharing my opinions and predicting future games. I also have some other interests as well, and I can get into that stuff in the future, but for now, I'm going to start with gaming. But as it stands, I decided to be a content creator and make a bunch of YouTube videos about Nintendo games at least. And for my first video, I think I'm going to predict Super Mario Galaxy 3. Now, I'm not only going to predict Mario or Nintendo games, but I'm also going to do some reviews and rankings as well. As for this video, so, I don't know if these rumors are true, but we all know that Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 have been remade back in October 2025. And we heard about the Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out in 2026. With all that in mind, people have been speculating the Super Mario Galaxy 3 to come out. And this gave me the idea to make this video. As for whether the rumors are true or not is a topic for a whole nother video. But for now, I kind of want to predict a Super Mario Galaxy 3 and discuss what I think it will be like. I mean, Galaxy 1 and 2 are some of the fan favorite 3D platformers, and are the best in my opinion, only beaten by Odyssey. And I have some nostalgia for that series as well. I always dreamed of a Galaxy 3, and I think we could all want one to come out someday. Plus, I also think that a video like this will draw attention to people, and maybe even incentivize Nintendo to make one. But that's enough rambling, because right now, I'm going to get into what I think Galaxy 3 should be like in comparison to 1 and 2. But before we get into the good stuff, be sure to subscribe to my channel and like the video. It helps support my channel and encourages me to make more content. Without further ado, let's get started. So, for the Galaxy design and world structure, well, okay, first we need to look at the first two Galaxy games. Galaxy 1 has an observatory grounds as the main hub and a bunch of observatories showing you different galaxies to travel to, as well as some hungry Lumas outside of them. And is split between robust galaxies with 6 missions and tons of effort put into them, and mystery galaxies which are just one-off missions with only 1 star. Now in Galaxy 2, the stars per galaxy have been significantly shifted to 2 to 3 per galaxy, and you travel by world map in Starship Mario, and have that as your main hub, but the galaxies are far less robust and more linear, and the mystery ones have more substance and missions. Oh, and both games have a total of 120 main stars, not including post-game content such as Green Star Challenge and the secret final level. But how would I want to do Galaxy 3? Well, first of all, I think the galaxies should be like Galaxy 1's robust galaxies, but even bigger and more immense. And I think we should slash all linearity from the previous games. Also, abolish the concept of doing missions to collect 1 star per it and start all over for another star. I think this game should scatter a bunch of stars around the galaxies, but you can just roam around and freely collect them in any order you want. Some can be done by completing missions, but without retraveling to the beginning or a different section, whether it's reaching a certain area or defeating a boss. And some of these can be done in sub-areas or just randomly placed and earned by casually exploring. Now the amount of stars you'll collect can be different amounts per each galaxy, but we're not strict on having a certain number. And we can even add extra stars after beating the final boss. Now, some missions will be part of the game's story and require you to go through or avoid certain areas and occasionally go back to the beginning. But other than that, you should be free to explore the galaxies, and the checkpoints you reach should let you fast travel there at any time. Yeah, I'm thinking of making the structure of this game to be like Mario Odyssey, where the galaxies function as kingdoms in that game, and you can explore one planet or several planets in any way you want. We'll still have launch stars that take you to different planets, but otherwise, I think there should still be some open world experience in Galaxy 3. I can even go a step further and have certain areas be different sections of galaxies, like the sublayers in DK Bonanza. And I'm sure at least a couple galaxies will have only one planet and little substance, like Nimbus Arena and Crumbledon in Mario Odyssey, which only exists to be boss battles. But most of them should be a fair size, whether it's big ones like Toast Arena and New Donk City and have lots of planets, or smaller ones like Fossil Falls and have at least a few planets. Now for each planet, they can all vary in size. Some galaxies can have a few planets, and some could have several planets, and some planets can be different areas accessed differently, so parts of planets. And I think several planets should be full of substance and make the galaxies feel like actual galaxies, rather than overglorified 3D platforms or missions in space. Many of them should be exploration worthy, and only very few of them should exist for one reason, such as boss battle or something. Some planets are going to be basic and linear, but that's fine every now and then. However, I'd like most planets to be a reasonable size and fulfill open world experience. There should also be some planets that twist around and use gravitational pulls in different directions in order to feel like actual planets in space. There will also be galaxies or planets that heavily consist of some fun elements and special themes, but I think there will also be at least a few generic ones as well. And yes, there are different ways to travel between them, such as mostly launch stars, but also sometimes jump stars, pole stars, cannons, and warp pipes. And sometimes planets will use these to get you in different areas of it. However, for open world experience, there should be many of them, and the game will tell you which ones will take you where. Also, just like Odyssey and Bonanza, there should be a map for every galaxy showing you your goal in every main mission until it's complete and you move on to the next. But I think the map should be 3D like Bonanza's because of the planet structure, but no smashing terrain or digging obviously. And the map should also tell you where all the checkpoints are found so you can fast travel, and the launch stars and other travel methods used to show where they take you or connect. Also, as expected, there will be a list of power stars, and will show you completed ones on the map. And if you pay enough star bits, it will show you unfound ones as well. But how will you travel between different galaxies? I think for that, we'll bring back Starship Mario as the main hub, but have it look different and give it more substance. Just like Galaxy 2, you can travel freely there if you're not in a galaxy, but when you get to the steering wheel and press go, you will be taken to the world map. However, it's going to be one giant universe with a total of 15 to 20 galaxies. I haven't decided the exact number yet, and you will fly to them and just explore them. No more clicking on missions on an extra screen. Just go straight to them and explore freely, or complete the story. If you want to leave, well, Starship Mario will be parked somewhere on the galaxy. Go to it, and the game will ask you if you're ready to travel to another galaxy. All progress will be saved for every star you collect. However, all galaxies will be unlocked by playing through the game. Obviously, there's one to start at. Then you have to complete the main story missions and collect enough stars to travel to the next galaxies until you reach the last one. As for the enemy bases, I decided there should be one galaxy devoted to Bowser and Bowser Jr., and then before that, they just make appearances on different ones with different boss fights, or just show up to wreak havoc. You can fight specifically those characters on some galaxies, they can summon different bosses on other galaxies, or you encounter some without even seeing them. We'll get back to that if I do another video about this, but I'm getting off track. The point is, there is so much we can do with this game, and have a whole bunch of themes for galaxies and incentive to explore them. However, you cannot have galaxies without the prankster comets. And because it's more open world now, like Odyssey, that means they will function differently than 1 and 2. After you complete the main story, prankster comets will generate in each galaxy as part of post-game, and they will generate new challenges for certain missions, while also changing up some experience for them. There can be multiple prankster comets landing in different areas of the galaxies, and you can just run into one and choose to take on whatever challenge it has to offer. Whether it's replaying a story-related mission or boss battle mission with a timer now or 1 HP, defeating all enemies in one area or planet with also a timer or 1 HP, collecting all purple coins, whether it's timed or contains a different challenge, or a one-way area where you cannot miss one or more than a certain number. I won't predict the Galaxy 1 purple comets where you scour every inch of a planet to collect all of them, because people hate those and I don't want them back, especially Honey Hives and Freeze Flames purple coins. There are also some missions with cosmic clones chasing you and enemies or objects moving 2 times speed. There can also be new types of comets, such as ones where you have to collect a bunch of star bits lying around, ones with added dangerous elements that weren't there before, or ones with a bunch of fog blocking your sight, and you can't even use a map to navigate. If you completed it, then you will collect the star and choose to do it again if you want to. If you lose, you can retry obviously. When it's done, it will be added to the star list, but won't count as exploration like all the other power stars, because those are different and less exploration worthy with the challenges given to you. I decided not to keep the hidden stars because they're just regular stars hidden somewhere and are no longer separate missions like 1 and 2. Also, I liked the idea of comet medals in Galaxy 2 summoning prankster comets, so let's scatter them across the galaxies in Galaxy 3, so they will slowly spawn after the final boss and credits. Now let's talk about Mario Galaxy's gameplay mechanics. In this prediction, I decided to keep the Baby Luma premise where Mario meets up with her and is able to shake for many purposes. I also decided to add new abilities to shake, such as double and triple shake being more powerful ones if you press 2 or 3 times in a row. I also decided that if Mario shakes twice in midair, it can shake up to an additional radius and get even more surroundings. Also, when Mario shakes while crouched and goes forward, Mario will do a roll shake now, going 5 feet forward while shaking as well. I am also keeping the motion controlled mechanics, with the pointer being used on certain objects or to collect star bits. As for the more specialized motion controlled mechanics, I think those should be reserved for sub-area missions, as they are once again not exploration worthy and unsuitable for open world. I want to keep ray surfing, bird gliding, and the star ball, but those can be sub-areas, which are more linear than the main world map. The sling pod mechanic, on the other hand, can go, because it's painfully awkward and sluggish to handle. The bubble, on the other hand, can come back because it was a fun challenge in Galaxy 1. One new motion-controlled mechanic I think we should add is saucer sliding, where you hop onto a saucer and control it in one giant open space while avoiding obstacles. There are also a whole bunch of simpler mechanics in 1 and/or 2, besides just motion controlled, that I am not fully decided on and might have to think about when I get deeper into this prediction, but there are some other ones we could use. The launch and pole stars I've already talked about keeping, but I think some areas, at least story related, should have you collect launch or pole star pieces. And I also think that some power stars can be by collecting silver stars. Oh, and I hate to say this, but we might have to keep Star Bunny chasing, even though it's pretty hated, because almost every 3D Mario game has you chase bunnies. At least we won't see Snowcap Galaxy again, and its additional frustrating mechanics. All the other major and minor ones I will think about more. I like seeing ones such as the beat blocks, flip swap panels, flip switches, and would want those again. I also think ones in newer games such as switchboards should also be in Galaxy 3. I will also think of some new gameplay mechanics that don't exist in Galaxies 1 and 2, but that's all I have for them. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. As for power-ups, I am keeping those because they're more exploration worthy. Now, so far, we have Fire and Ice Mario from Galaxy 1, and one of them returned in 2, which can only be used for a short time, and are for areas that need it most, so those can work. And I think Ice Mario should make a return since it missed Galaxy 2. Rainbow Mario, same thing, with no changes needed. All other ones, though, have it so you can use them throughout the galaxies and their missions, but will lose them if you touch water, and some if you touch a launch star. The water makes sense because those wouldn't be usable underwater and pose a fun challenge. The launch stars, well, Cloud and Bee make sense to use them, but all others shouldn't be able to fly. Oh yes, and those remaining power-ups are Bee, Spring, and Boo from Galaxy 1 and rarely in 2. And Cloud and Rock introduced in 2. In the first two games, they would only be used in their Galaxy missions, then you would lose them after. But in Galaxy 3, I think they can be held onto for the entirety of their stay in a galaxy. And if a certain area doesn't want you to use them, then those areas will make sure of it. But if you travel to a different galaxy, you will then lose it. And not all of them should be in every single one. As for the spin drill, I've decided not to keep that because that one isn't exploration friendly either. I don't think people should dig around in a non-linear open world with built-in structure for other purposes. As for new power-ups, I think Slime Mario and Yarn Mario should be added. The former can help wall jumping be more effective as it can easily stick or bounce off certain areas. And the latter can use string to connect areas for missions or just attack enemies at longer range. Also, Flying Power-Up can come back after you complete the galaxies, but is only there for free roaming and 100% completion. As for Yoshi, I decided to keep him because he worked incredibly well in Galaxy 2. I also think his power-ups would be fine for an open world. Dash Pepper, Blimp Fruit, and Boldberry can work in an Odyssey-based game, and can be there for the most needed challenges for them. I also think another new power-up should return, being the Stretchy Cucumber, which can be used to jump higher or longer and reach farther objects. Otherwise, Mario can find Yoshi in at least some of the galaxies, and he will not go with you when you travel to other ones. Just like the power-ups, you cannot bring Yoshi into other galaxies. And now, time to predict everything else about this game. Considering how big this topic is, I'm probably gonna miss one or two things about it. So feel free to tell me in the comments if there's something else I need to touch upon. Boss battles definitely can be one or two in almost every galaxy. I think a few won't have them. Story, just your typical premise where Bowser kidnaps Peach into space and build his own empire, so Mario has to travel to space to rescue her, but also defeat Bowser to save the universe. Post-game, well, I think one extra galaxy can come in and can just be a callback to earlier parts of the game, before a secret final level, like Odyssey's Dark and Darker Side. But another post-game kingdom can come in, like Odyssey's Mushroom Kingdom, and for this, I think Good Egg Galaxy as a throwback to Galaxy 1. And otherwise, the Prankster Comets, as I said before, will be there, as well as some regular Power Stars, only collectible after the credits. And speaking of throwbacks, besides Good Egg Galaxy as the post-game throwback, I think all the new galaxies can bring back some planets and levels from Galaxy 1 and 2, and maybe other games like Whomp's Fortress returning in Galaxy 2 from 64. Oh, and some bosses from both games can come back, and maybe another boss blitz. As for everything else I can think of, the only other thing I cannot exclude is shops and currencies. Shops where you can spend coins or star bits on a bunch of things, such as souvenirs for each galaxy, as well as different outfits, and one power star to buy in each galaxy. Once again, like Odyssey and Bonanza have. Lastly, amiibo support should also exist, and you can use the two existing amiibos the same way as the recent remakes of Galaxy 1 and 2. I also think there should be extra uses for them, such as a Peach amiibo for temporary invincibility, and Bowser amiibo for Comet Medal hints. Other than that, I think this game will be good to go as it is. And that concludes my first YouTube video ever. Now, I don't know if we'll ever get a Galaxy 3, and it is possible that we may not, and also possible that those rumors are fake. But nonetheless, this was a fun video to make. And I hope you guys liked it and consider this to be a good first impression to my channel. Now, I'm sure some of those predictions aren't the most original, but some of the ones I made definitely are, and I used common knowledge in other games to figure this one out. I also know that some of my predictions haven't been fully determined yet, which I'm still working on, but I got a good amount going. I would use footage from the Galaxy movie to better predict this, but we don't have much right now, and I don't want any spoilers, so I'm just going to go off my brain for this. Now, this is just where I predict the game itself and its formula and structure. I want to do a part 2, where I predict the actual galaxies and what they would be like, but this was a very difficult and exhausting video to make, and would be even harder to do the next part. If I ever get around to making a part 2, it won't be too soon. As for my channel, I want to make a bunch of videos about Nintendo games and have planned some, but they're not all going to be predictions for future games. A lot of them are some variety of different topics of different Nintendo games, and I am starting to work on some other videos, but I don't know when they'll come out. Besides the time it takes to make them, I also have some personal priorities as I'm a college student and also have a job, so I'll allocate time for video making without getting in the way of those. In the meantime, just stay tuned for more videos, and other than that, I will see you in the next video.